Right, starting out this morning, thought I'd give an update where I'm at. First of all, this here is my dry cell. It's 6 cells, 1 stack. I believe it's 316. It was from a commercial microwave. Don't know how to test that. If somebody knows how, I'd love to know how to test, see what kind of stainless you've got. But I think it's probably a 316. 3/8 inner tubing. I used PVC, where is it here? PVC shower liner for my gasket. Seemed to work pretty good. And got 2 inputs, 2 outputs. Comes up. My reservoir. Nothing inside special, just a container. And I'm using straight tap water with 3 spoons of baking soda because that's all I had handy. I'll be getting some KOH here fairly soon, or I hope to. Was running straight off the battery, but it was pretty weak, so I went ahead and hooked it up to the battery charger. And I have a gas out line here. It's not putting anything out. I'm not sure why. I'm guessing it's because I'm probably got a leak either in the cap or in the connection here, or that line is just too small. So I haven't run it yet today, so I'll start it up. There we go. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, now we'll watch right here, and bang, there comes the gas. Oops, must have a little kink over here. Yeah, I definitely need to straighten out my tubes. These are a little short. That would help. But I'm going to widen it pretty quick too. So now you can see the difference here. This is feeding my electrolyte in, and this thing's just white. It looks like pure foam coming out. And that gas. I haven't checked yet. I haven't set up anything to check what the output is. But tell you what, it's kicking it out pretty good, I think. My amp draw, 1.14 amps. And yeah, I've just got light wire. Don't have the lugs in there yet to connect to the plates. So all those things will help improve the performance on it. This was just to make sure it was running and to kind of start it conditioning. What else? Last night, after this thing warmed up, I was letting it run last night, and it got up to about 1.4 amps. So it'll be interesting to see if it, if the current comes up as it warms up. I would think it probably will. What else? I think the first thing I'll do here this morning probably is to get this output sealed so that I can actually see if I got something coming out. I mean, it's definitely coming out, and there's nothing coming out of this tube, so there's got to be a leak up there on top. It's the only place it could be leaking. So I'll look into that first. Then let's see what over here. This here was an older cell that I'd made, but I really didn't like it. I mean, they leak. I like going around. I like the idea of going around the outside, not having your bolts go through the plates and gaskets. And I've got another stack here of plates to finish out. Those will all go in there. With any luck, I'll have them in by the end of today, and hopefully double, triple the output on this. Then the next thing I'm going to do, see, I got quite a collection of motors here, electric motors of all kinds, but here's a couple of alternators. I'm not sure what this one is, I gotta look it up. This was out of a little Ford Escort. It's 37 amp, not very big, but shoot, I'm only drawing, you know what I say, one and a half at best amps. So take this, hook it up to one of these other motors on the bench, and then I'll have my own power supply for it, and should put out as much as I'm going to be using in the immediate future here anyway. So, and the other thing I was going to mention, there's some of the gaskets I was cutting out. This is my pattern. My plates are 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. Just the way, that was the way I could get the most out of the sheet that I had, so that's what I made them. Which so it works perfect here. This here is a 3/8 acrylic, I believe, 3/8, maybe a little more, right around 3/8 acrylic, and using 1/4-20 all thread on it. So I'll give you more update when I got more to say. I thought I'd talk a little about the plates I'm using. Again, I said I cut these out of a commercial microwave. Just etched out the lines and then used a little speed cutter, like air speed cutter, to cut them. So they're relatively close, not real close. But the first thing I wanted to address is, looking at this, you can see that it's warped. If I can get that in there, and if it pops back and forth, and it's because it's stretched unevenly. For some reason when when it was cut, the edges heated and then shrunk, and making the center more, whatever, is expanded more than the edges. So now it pops. So a quick way to solve this, and just hopefully this will help somebody, because I didn't realize this at first. My first attempts came out like crap, so I had very wavy edges. But what I do, put it here, see if I can do this all at once. See if that'll work. Let's come over, spin this a little bit, and just tap, and I come in maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch, but tap very evenly all the way around the edges. Okay, so that was fairly warped, could use a little more. There we go. It's all gone. There's no more popping now. So now, taking this, I can just bend the edges so that they're straight. But now by doing that, I stretch the edges out so they more closely match the center, and so now it lays flat. And this is significant because when we put this all together on the cell here, we don't want these to short out. We'd like them to be very close together. If I can get in there, like them to be very close together, but definitely do not want them to short, have metal touching metal, one plate touching another plate. And if they're bowed like that, there's a much bigger chance that they will short out. So just thought I'd add that. Okay, just opened the cell back up. Thought I'd show you what I have here while I had it open. Just my connector bolts for the Here's for the terminals. Plates here. Just put in the other two holes in the corners there for the terminals. These here on the hose fittings, I tapped them with regular pipe tap here, which is a quarter. It's called a quarter in PT, and it's an 18 thread per inch. And anyway, actually, here's the rest of them. I'll have, let's see here, 13 plates in this now, and which will be the 12 cells, 2 stacks, and these here, this is the end gasket. These are out of order, as you can see, but this is what looked like after running it. Probably, I don't know, I probably ran it maybe 7 hours altogether, 6-7 hours. And interesting things about it, you can see where the bubble line was. Looks like this one was producing pretty good. It was definitely pulling crap out. Now again, this was just regular tap water with 3 spoons of baking soda, because that's all I had. Well, this is what I took out of it. So what is that? Just not quite 2 liters that I had in the system. So 3 spoonfuls to 2 liters. Anyway, yeah, it looks pretty mucky after running that. So again, I don't know how much of it's just the crap from the water. This is city water, so I know there's a fair amount of chlorine in it, and so forth. Now I'm going to put these cells back in, the old ones, pretty much as is. Just wipe them off, so make sure there's no crap on them. But otherwise, I'm going to put them back in. Now I don't know if this is a bad deal to leave this old erosion, I guess it is, on here or not. Maybe somebody give me their thoughts on that. Anyway, so looking through some of those, and then my other ones here. There's my gaskets, and then just the regular plates. So get it all back together and see how it goes here. Okay, got it back together, and got the new lead on it here, and it's probably, I think, about a 12 gauge on there. I can't imagine that I need more than that for this. More plates I may go up later on, but terminals are in, they're bolted now, rather than what I had before, which was just for testing. And one thing I was going to mention, I used a micrometer here when going through, or when tightening this, to make sure that everything's coming out the same, or that my width is the same all the way around, and then going all the way around and adjusting it. So it's not all tweaked all over the place. Anyway, there you have it, and two stacks, 12 cells. Hook it up and see what it can do here. Okay, got it set up here, and right now it's pulling 2.51 amps. I had 2 liters tap water, 4 tablespoons baking soda. Got to get some KOH. Ground there with this. So, show you total voltage on it, 17.65, 68, somewhere in there. Went through and checked each of the cells here. So there was nothing shorted. See there, I'm going just between, that's my ground, positive. So I'm just going on one cell. So 2.87 volts per cell. Okay, and so 2.78, and we're roughly, it measured 17.6. We'll go on the far side. Current, current's going up and down right now. So between 2.4 and 2.5. So you can see the line here, it's coming out of there pretty good. I'm wondering if my hoses are restricting it at all. It's 3/8 inside diameter on these hoses. Not that this is such a monster cell or anything, just, you know, looking down here, almost, I mean, it's packed with bubbles, you know, and just makes me wonder if I could increase the flow, if that would help production. Also, remember on the last one, this was kind of pinched, and so I put longer hoses coming off the output, and I think it's helping a little bit here. And so there we go, and it's just kind of hanging around that 2.4 right now. Here, going back up, just got the reservoir up here, and coming out, back and down, just got it running into a bottle of water, and it's throwing it out okay, I guess. Doesn't seem like any monster output or anything, but so I'm gonna try and get a measurement here to see what the actual output is. I'll be back with that. Okay, probably the last clip for tonight. Right now I'm just trying to get some heat going, see what this can take, and it's just room temperature. There's nothing. I mean, yeah, room temperature at best. And it's been running for a couple hours here. I doubled the baking soda in there, so 8 tablespoons, and I've gotten it up to, see, it's about over 310 right now. I've seen it up to 3.25 is about as high as I've seen it. So it increased the current flow, brought the total voltage down to around 17.4, I think, volts across the cell. This is just something I put together quick here to measure my output. I'll show you here. It's cruising up the line. It sure seems like there's a whole heck of a lot more going up that hose than what's coming out down here. So I'm still wondering if I don't have some leaks. Anyway, I just put a cork in this thing here and start my timer. Put this down. A little cork in there. Probably leaking, but who cares? And it just starts filling it up, displaces the water up into this other one. So see what I got, pull the cork out, comes back down. Using this, I'm like a liter per 8 minutes. That's terrible. That's terrible. So it's like, what is that, 125 milliliters a minute. So it's pretty pathetic. But again, I'm just using the baking soda, battery charger, small cells. I mean, the plate's only 4 by 4, and 4 1/8 by 4 1/8, and then it's a 3/8 inch gasket, so 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 is the exposure area on the plate. And just curious what the voltage across per cell right now is. Let's see here. Go down there, and 2.86 volts per cell. So no great shakes. So just putting along over here, displacing this. The one up above is filling up. And this just keeps going. So these are 1/2 liter bottles. And I wasn't timing it this time, but it's been running about just under 4 minutes to displace a 1/2 liter. So probably all I'm going to do on it for today. Hopefully next time when I come in, get an electric motor hooked up to the alternator so we can crank, so we know that it's not it doesn't have an issue with not enough available power. Because like when my air compressor, or just this little air compressor, when that thing kicks on, I lose 1/3 to 1/2 of my current. So it's actually, let me do that. Let's see. I'll bleed some off. Okay, right now it's at 3.19. Oh, it'll probably help if I plug it in. Okay. Oh, I still didn't plug the right one in. Yeah, I did. What the heck? Okay. Now it's down to 2.25. So, yeah, almost a third of the power went away. Turn that off, back up to 310. And what do we got here? Oh, this thing. Pull out. Kaboom. There we go. So, pull my cork out. Let it drain back in. And oh, and this is another thing. The leaks, but then this is just some little 1/4 inch tubing. I'm sure there's a lot of pressure with such small tubing in there too. I mean, just look how slow that thing's draining. So, bigger lines, better tester. Just go with the traditional upside down pop bottle, liter bottle, whatever. Try that. But I am also wondering about going with bigger lines. I know it may not be an issue on this cell, but I remember hearing Bob Boyce talking about having to go to fairly large lines with his stuff to get the flow through it. I know I'm not even scratching the surface of what he was producing, but still there may be an issue with restriction here, pressure. So we're 3.22. Now that there's no pressure on it, it seems like the current came up. Probably because there's more flow through the cell carrying the bubbles out, and blah blah blah. That makes sense, right? What would happen, and I want to try this, but if I put just a small pump on this to pressure this the electrolyte through the cell. What would that do for the production? I would think it would really be forcing them bubbles out of there. And so current would be higher, and production, I would think that would increase production. Anyway, that's something else to try. Thanks for watching.